very funny.
It's called Brigadier.
It's called Brigadier, yeah, we call it Brigadier. Although I'm playing a guy called Rex Conroy, who's an actor who wants to be on Shakespeare. I mean, it is very much based on me, obviously.
Right.
And my wife, Vicky's.
What's your son's name?
Philip Courtney. But recently he's written a musical. When he came to Germany, he's writing a musical, which is fascinating. It's very primeval, and all about monkeys and some musical. It's wonderful. He's writing a musical. I don't know how far that's gone. But on the whole, because of that, he has acted, he's got work, and but his main job at the moment is teaching underprivileged children in New York and Harlem through drama. But that's a very draining job. But he's trying to play.
I'm interested in all these threads that run through your family history, education and acting, and an interest in academia. When you say all history, what sort of history appeals?
Well, probably because I did very well at school in Egypt. I got to get huge marks, 10 out of 10, when I was doing A in high school, so European history of the 19th century. And that's a great guide. The good thing about history is it does give you a sort of judgment of what they encounter against today, or what happened in the past. I think it's very useful for them. But I don't think history necessarily repeats itself, although it does. But that was the period that I studied most, was European history in the 19th century. All that, very European. That's why I'm a born European. Well, my first wife was French.
Having spent your time in Egypt, does give you a viewpoint on the Middle East? Can I just ask what your view is about the Middle East?
Well, my view is that I thought it would happen. I don't like it. I'm not entirely surprised, because without wishing to, and I got my own views about it, but if you've got a president, actually I'm very nervous about saying this, because it's not my country, but if you want my own views, I'm going to tell you. If you've got a president like Bush, who's a great isolationist, and right by the way, where's the Democrats? Okay, and you've got that, and then you've got this awful business going on in Israel, Palestine. It seems to me, I didn't think it would exactly happen exactly like this, because I had no idea, and it was very, very shocking to me. I mean, I talked to people, friends of mine, about it this week, and it's to lay blame, it's so difficult to lay blame. It's awful to say that I'm not surprised. I didn't know it was quite like that. I found that very, very shocking, particularly because, I can say it now, my son lives in New York, but he rang me on Tuesday, and he's fine. Tuesday was a bad day for me. I'm glad. Yeah, but it was all right. I was confused back in Amsterdam. But sometimes the heroism, I talked to him the day before yesterday, the heroism shown by certain people. You see, the Brigadier is very like me. I tend to distrust most politicians, and I don't think I'm wrong. But the heroism of the people in New York was amazing. These firefighters going upstairs and other people getting out. And the heroism of everyone rushing to get blood. That is enormously encouraging. So when, as I believe the program, I said, America deserved it, I thought, well, that's, whatever view you have about politics and politics and whatever, come on, there's humanity involved. You're talking about people, innocent people.
I'm sure people are going to ask me to bring it back to Dr. Who.
Whatever.
Question down there.
Yeah, I was very interested in talk about the radio about because I had the pleasure of listening to that.
Well, Tutor of the Court of the Town?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's one of those things you
just wrote, actually it was in 1952 when I first became an actor, when I left drama school, and he wrote to the BBC, he offered it to the BBC, and he said, I want my son to read this. Well, actually, it's good. The BBC turned it down, and I'm very glad they did in a way at the time, because in 1952, I wouldn't have the equipment to be able to do it. But he just wrote these 4 chapters.
Dingle Plan on Emmerdale. And one of them is a local girl. She was brought up around here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hay Gallery, Nicholas Briggs, Hilton Collins, and the lovely India Fisher. Thank you. Hello. Just posing. I'm going to regret doing that, aren't I?
Yeah,
I see
it's
these
splashed
pictures.
everywhere.
Yes.
Hello everyone, well look, I'll start the ball rolling and then we'll have you talking to us. Now Hilton.
Oh, are you interviewing us? I thought you were
Well, you know, I'm the one with the biggest mouth at the moment.
we're not getting an interview.
No, do it
Do it
yourself.
yourself, you see.
The big finish and we're going to get an interview.
Hey, Hilton, you've done quite a few bits and bobs.
Yes.
Finish. Just tell us what you've done.
Whispers of Terror.
Yes.
Who was in that? His voice and the Godfather, the guy that gets killed at the start. An Ice Warrior, Stas.
They've got the build now.
No, what's that?
The build.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't get in fiberglass, thankfully. What was the other one? Pigeon Fancy, what was his name?
Storm Warning.
Storm Warning.
That's not his name, obviously.
The Chief Steward, Weeks.
Weeks.
That's the
And involving Samurai and Rodney and a demon thing. Sort of very strange. Do you remember that? All that strange stuff. I think it was cut in the end actually, because we had all the massive speeches and we were reading the script throughout the week because we got it really late on in the day, didn't we? And we were reading the script throughout the week and when you went in hell, we were going, oh my God, what's this about? And there was these massive long speeches, weren't there, of demons, and we were in the studio just rambling them off.
That's right. That's right, because the demon Hilton was playing, he eventually opted for making it like Max.
Well, wasn't it?
I thought it was like Max in Heart to Heart.
This is Mrs. Hart. What a terrific lady.
You're right, you did get cut.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I thought they'd cut me.
I needed to save time.
Right,
Because
it was long, wasn't it?
if I put all of Minuet in Hell in, it would have been 7 episodes. Something went wrong there.
We got your scripts on the Monday, didn't we? It was like, did you get yours earlier?
No, I don't think I did.
It was Monday because I remember Gareth Thomas who was in one. I had a script to learn for an audition at the National at the end of the week.
As you do.
And he had to read this script, and every night, so, well, he was there for a couple of nights, and we kept going, I said, I've got this script to read for Friday's recording, and he went, I've got an audition on Friday, I've got to read the script for that. And we were like, shall we go for a drink? And we went down to the bar, and we went, have you read your script yet, Gareth? No, have you read yours? No, I'll read it. And we were still reading Friday morning, he was reading on the train, and I was reading on the way to the studio.
Now let me get this clear. Who said, shall we go for a drink?
I don't know, I can't remember.
It's a deadly thing to say to Gareth Thomas.
Yeah. Actually, he's got a very bad reputation for drink. He told me this, but he never was over the limit, was he?
No.
He can totally take it, and he's never, he's an absolute professional. I mean, I know he's got a bit of a bad, because he said, I've lost work with him because of the reputation. But I don't think, he should have done.
He says
He
that-
doesn't bother, does he? Because
He said that the reputation sort of expected of him at Blake 7 conventions. He said, I just have to drink 20 pints. It's just, there's no choice.
well, you know what? Can I tell my Gareth story?
Go on. Can you?
Can I tell you this story?
Yeah.
I think it was the last night that he was there, we decided to go out for an Indian meal, the pair of us. And I won't say the name of the other cast member, but it was someone there that week. It was the night that we decided to go and see the bridge, remember?
Oh,
Me and India had been saying, oh, we must do the tourist trail and go up and see the bridge. So Paul McGann said, go into there was a pub at the end of the street, which was Britain's last cider pub, was it? It sold also different types of cider. So we all piled into there after the recording, and one cast member decided that he would sort of sit and drink with Gareth. Don't know if you remember this, do you?
Oh, it's...
Yeah. And we said, right, we're up to the bridge, we're going to the bridge, and everyone else went, oh, we'll come do the tourist trail. So everyone got up, except this one person, Gareth, and Gareth went, no, I've seen the bridge, I don't want to see it again. I'll stay here with a drink. And this other guy was sat sort of matching him drink for drink, and I thought, don't do it. And we all went to the bridge, and about half an hour later, 3/4 of an hour later, came back from the bridge, and he's still there. Gareth has cleared his glasses, and this other one's going. And then we got to the Indian restaurant, all ordered the starters, and we were fine, me, Gareth, and this other person. But the one that was matching him for the drinks was slowly. And then the meal came, and me, Gareth, and the other guy took in, and Nick was like,
Not listening.
no, not this Nick, this person that was matching the drink.
Whose name may or may not be.
He was sat there, and that horrible feeling where you just cannot face your food, and he was like, and you could see him going green and like, he was like, I've just got to go. And he disappeared outside the restaurant, and Gareth went, what's up with him? He was so sorry. We went, well, we're trying to match you, Gareth. And he went, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Oh, and he was so apologetic. And the other person that wasn't drinking got up and walked out of the restaurant. And then Gareth went, I'll go and see if he's all right. And he got up and walked out, and I'm sat there thinking, all these Indian waiters are going, they're coming back, honestly. Well, that was
Doing a runner in stages.
So never try and match Gareth for drinks, because he'll win.
If that person had been Nick Pay,
We're not saying it is.
he would have said to me the next morning, oh, Christ, Nick, guess what I did last night? I tried to drink as much as Gareth Thomas.
And did he?
No, but yeah.
Well, he came in the morning after and he didn't have to, did he? And I went, blimey, Christ, because he was there before any of us.
So he did play a demon, and he was on the verge of...
I think we
there was
were
more than fire and brimstone about to come up.
It was a bit like that.
Let me, just in case people don't know anything about any of this, India is the sort of latest addition to the Doctor Who companion file, really. So I just wanted to talk a bit about the story you may have told many times. How you got involved in the first place, and perhaps Jason can chip in as well.
All right. It was 1999.
Many years ago.
Many years ago. I was a slip of lass. I was doing a show up in Edinburgh. It was the first show I've done in Edinburgh, and Jason came to see the show. Actually came to see someone else in the show, and afterwards in the bar, he was handing out his cards, and I remember I took one and saw the producer, and I thought, yeah, right. And then do call me when you get back to London, and I just put it in my pocket and thought nothing of it.
Put it in your pocket.
Pocket, I kept it. And then I was sort of back in London, and it was pissing down with rain, and I was thinking, oh God, I've got no work, and so I thought, well, I'll just dig out this card and like, be a little proactive in my approach to acting. And so I phoned him up and got me in. Actually, phoned me up, got me in for an audition.
Make it funnier.
Yes, I'm trying to. Got me in for an audition, which was in Gray's Inn Road in this salubrious pub. And I walked in, and I got there as I'm a very good actor. I got there 15 minutes early, and they shoved in front of me this pile of scripts like this, and just went, yeah, you've got about 10 minutes, just have a flick through, think of some voices to do, and I'll come back to you. And I was just like, and I sat there desperately trying to read them, thinking, what voices do I do? And went upstairs, and Jason was very sweet, so I didn't know any of the others. The others turned out to be Gary and Nick. Nick, all I remember, is sitting behind a huge mixing desk with large earphones and just sort of and so I just stood at this microphone and read these things, and I remember Gary going, yeah, that's fine, and can you now do her as Maggie Thatcher? And I was just like, oh God. And then I went away and heard absolutely nothing for about 3 months. And then got a phone call going, yep, really liked you. We have this vast bank of actors that we use, so, you know, if it happens that you may use you in the future. And then February, And I got another phone call going, do you want to be in Peter Davison one, which was with The Adept, which I did, and actually snuck one of my best mates into it as well, because I got an irate phone call.
Yes, it was a desperate phone call, wasn't it?
2 days before filming started. You don't know anyone that sounds 16, do you? And actually my first reaction was, you didn't tell me it was for my one. And I thought, what's wrong with me? He's phoning me up going, you don't know any good actresses, do you? I was like, you cheeky stuff. So I went, oh yes, I do. I know my friend Liz Sutherland, and luckily because it's audio, he could just audition her over the phone. So she phoned me up going, I got the part and it's your one as well. And I was just like, oh, I see, now I understand. So it was great. First ever Doctor Who did with my best mate from university, which was lovely. I think it was a beautiful experience.
No, the sucking up there.
The sarcasm, I'd say. What about the formulation of the Charlie character who eventually appeared with Paul McGann?
Well, originally, when we were talking about having new companions for Paul McGann, Gary wanted to do something which was a modern-day girl who worked for a travel agency. And I was actually against this because the outline he gave was not that dissimilar to Perry or to Ace or any of the girls we've come across recently. And I've always been...
Did Ace work in a travel agency?
Sorry?
I missed that episode.
No, sorry.
Doctor Who and a travel agency.
No, sorry, the outline. They worked for a travel agency, but they were
Plucky,
spunky, you know,
yes.
Get out there, get involved type girls
Yeah.
who were, you know, walking around with leather coats and all the rest of it. And I thought,
Sounds good.
yeah. But, no, what I suggested to Gary was that we did something which hadn't been done for a while, which is doing a companion who was out of time, as it were. Someone who had been from the 1930s and 1950s. Originally I said, well, why don't we do someone from the 1950s? And because there's always been, there've been Victoria, obviously, from the 17th century. There've been 60s and 70s girls from the eras in which they came from, but no one had done 1950s girls. So I suggested that, and then Storm Warning came up, which was obviously set in the 1930s. So Gary came back and said, well, why don't we make it 1930s? I said, well, fine, yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
Because when I wrote, they never tell me, when I wrote Sword of Orion, I wrote, I can't remember, I was writing for someone called Fiona, who worked in a travel agent. Oh,
Yeah, that's
then she was going to be a policewoman. So that's why there's a scene in Sword of Orion, or an ambulance, a paramedic or something, because she does that whole thing where the doctor finds that you find the dead body, the guy who's bleeding to death. And I did all these scrutchy, spongy noises where you're trying to stop the bleeding. So you can do that on audio, and it's not at all offensive. That's my idea. Yeah, so I thought, oh yeah, so she'll be really good at medical stuff, you see.
But I'm not.
No.
So I just put a few jolly hockey sticks and I say, and then suddenly it was a girl from the 1930s. Not doing myself any favours.
No, yeah. Anyway, carry on. Really must read your scripts more intensely. No, but so Charlie came out of that aspect, and the casting of India was very simple. After Winter for the Adepts, Gary and I were chatting afterwards, and Gary was accusing about India, and I already knew that she was a fantastic actress, obviously. Yeah, but Gary was like, she's really great, she's fantastic, she can do that sort of part really well. And it's a shame.
She's a posh bird.
She's a posh bird, yeah. And it's a shame she stayed behind by the world in the Winter for the Adepts. And we got talking, and we decided, well, if we're going to use the 1930s, why don't we just use India? Bring her back to play Charlie.
It's an important factor, isn't it, also, if you're going to have someone as a regular character,
Yeah.
to actually get on with the person who's playing the part. Because, you know, you're obviously going to be saddened with them.
They were
Wow.
basically disappointed, but they've put brave face.
Well, as I say, we made a commitment. We've now used India 11 times. In fact, you've done more stories than any doctor. True. Yeah, it's true.
Not interesting, but true.
No.
Now look, should we move things on and play a clip, something, and then maybe get some questions for you? What's the Doctor Who clip?
Yeah.
Is it no, what is it?
It's the release which is coming out this month, which is I'm the Scorpion.
It's not that bad, honestly.
It's not that bad. And
see, that'll learn you.
it's track 20 on the Doctor Who CD.
Here it is, a trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Eye of the Scorpion.
So, where are we?
From the gravity and atmosphere, I'd say Earth. Egypt, roughly 1400 BC.
This is the House of Death. No one leaves here alive.
Excuse me, I don't think you've told us exactly who you are.
No, I did not.
The great and mighty Queen, daughter of the stars, pharaoh in the eyes of the gods and soon to be crowned. All bow to Erimemush in Teperim, divine and eternal, the living God.
Pharaoh?
I can name every pharaoh Egypt ever had, and I'm certain there was never a pharaoh Erimem.
Death to Erimem! No!
Help me!
Damn you, stranger. Where did you come from?
Who sent you? Answer me! Who do you serve?
The true pharaoh.
Shh. Quietly. Don't be encouraged by my presence, you poor fool. You're in no condition to escape. I'm afraid you can't be interrogated either. After all, no one leaves the House of Death alive.
Well, obviously a light touch of comedy there.
Managed to make a child cry after. Sorry, I know, terrible. Shall I get some? Does this one work if I go into the audience for this? Is it? Do I turn it on? Where it says on? Yes.
I should try to ask some questions. Eye of the Scorpion is now out and available upstairs and will be tomorrow. It's obviously set during during ancient Egypt. Yes. And features Caroline Morris, who, as people know who listen to the CD, stayed with the TARDIS crew at the end. So she's actually our third new companion. So she's joined. And that was a decision we actually made during the production, because she was just so fantastic. And she worked really well with Nicola Bryant. And it was just really interesting to have an older sister, younger sister type relationship in the TARDIS. And so we thought, we'll keep it there. So she leaves with the Doctor at the end. And here we go. I'll shut up now because it's going to take some.
Well, I don't want to start. Who wants to ask a question?
Yeah.
Good night! Yes.
Did it come as a surprise when I think BBC say you could use this stuff until 2005? It was a surprise.
This stuff.
That's quality entertainment. Just carry on. All right, generally. Yes. All right, answer that.
Well, yeah. Well, it didn't really come as a surprise because that's what I've been pushing for about 6 months. But yes, I didn't expect, to be honest with you, I went in there and blanked it slightly. And I went, well, you're really happy with what's going on. We're coming around to renewing the license. And wouldn't it be great if you just gave it to us for another like 5-6 years? And they went, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Right, and what are your plans? Well, right, okay. I'll get back to you. So, because having thought that we'd probably only get a 2-year extension, we were a bit surprised given such a long period of time. It's actually the longest license that the BBC has given out to a licensee holder at the moment. And
I don't mean to sound up to Jason, but you know, it's because of his intense professionalism.
Which you wouldn't notice here.
And we'll go through 3 months next year, so thanks, mate. Right. Another question. There was another one over there. Yes.
For India, what's it like working with the other 3 doctors? You work with Sylvester, Paul McGann, and Peter Davison.
Yeah, well, Sylvester wasn't actually in doctor mode when I was working with him. He was in psychiatrist mode and being very, very funny. He was a really good laugh. We'd done the play, in Edinburgh for like a month, and then had done it in London for a month, and I was, to be honest, a little bit jaded with it, had to be said. And when they went, do you want to do an audio of it? I was just like, no, I don't. But then they got Sylvester on board, and he just energised it so brilliantly. And it was a live recording, so he was passing around playing spoons and things in the middle of things, and he was just brilliant. Peter, I didn't really, I was a bit part of Peter's one. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say that really. So I didn't really get to know him that well, because it was just a weekend. But he was lovely. But I have to say, my heart goes with Paul McGann every day of the week. I call these lots senseless, but he's a lovely, lovely man, let me put it that way.
It's just a sort of professional relationship.
No, and he's also a very talented actor. I've always been incredibly impressed by him since Wignell and I. And so it was just when I got a phone call late one night on my mobile from Jason speeding down the motorway, saying, well, we've just had a meeting and we wondered whether you'd like to be a companion. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. They went, Paul McGann. And I had to sort of pick myself up off the floor and like, yes, please, yes, I'd like that a lot. Thank you very much.
She kept on going, no, no.
I kept going, you're lying.
No, you're lying.
No, you're lying. No, stop winding me up, you're lying. But no, I did finally believe him when he put it in writing and things like that. But no, it was, I have a ball with them, I think they're great. But what's nice about doing the McGann ones is that you're there for a whole week. And so you get, as we were saying, you go out to the Curry House and you go and see things. And so there's a real sort of cast feeling like doing a play or something, which is just great. It's why you do it.
And because we're doing so many back-to-back so fast, we use a sort of repertory of actors as well. So a lot of the actors don't just come in for one story and go. They're actually there for quite a few stories, maybe 2 or 3 stories. So they hang around for a bit, which is good. So there's a good cliche family atmosphere.
That's right. Gets donuts and things.
I do. I'm the donut runner. As soon as everything gets a bit, whenever anything's a bit fraught or everything's thinking,
bring in the
time, I go donuts. Go get the donuts, bring them in, and that always solves any problem, really, doesn't it?
That is the key to good producing.
Absolutely.
You look great on camera, by the way, Jason. Anyway, yes, over here. Now with the camera. You see, I said you look great, and now you're on his home video. Marvellous. This is the bit where Jason... Right.
Any more plans for Tomorrow People Search or various other series?
Well, strangely enough, Tomorrow People, we're actually recording the third Tomorrow People next weekend. It's been slightly delayed because the script content had to be radically changed because of the recent terrorist attack in New York, because it featured a bank which was the tallest building in Britain, and it eventually dissolved, killing people inside. We thought it was not obviously appropriate to record that. So we are changing it at the moment. So the third Tomorrow People will be done there. The second Tomorrow People is now in and is actually for sale upstairs.
Should we, have you got a clip
yes,
from that?
We've got a clip.
Let's have a clip from the Tomorrow People. Are you ready? And while it's coming on, I'll just sing you a short song.
Paul, are you hurt?
No, I don't think so.
Where's Stephen? He jolted away as he fired his gun.
And he's taken Eleanor with him.
Why hasn't she jolted back?
Maybe Stephen shot her too. Tim, why didn't you know he had a weapon?
I could not read his mind clearly, I regret to say. I suspected something was wrong, but when